Okay, day one and the first endurance test of this DJI. And I'm starting from here. First things first, I'm going to check my weight today.
Bye bye.
What time is it? It's 7:53. Right, I have slept 5 hours and 56 minutes, which is not bad at all. And I'm just starting my day a little bit late, but it is what it is. I'm still testing. Hello, good morning. Okay, bright and sunny as expected in Dubai. Bright and sunny, bright and sunny. Okay. First things first, we're gonna go get a coffee. Here we are. Hello. Good morning. Look, I got a camera.
Oh, really? That's
That's
nice.
I finally got it.
Very nice.
How's it going? Thank you. Yeah, it's on. Says I'm just testing it today to see how long it lasts, especially in this heat, you know. All right, can I make my AeroPress?
Sure.
All right, so this is what it is. This is Hook, the good team at Hook. Huh?
Same beans?
Yeah, same beans is fine. So you see they've got these nice books here. Yes, please. All right. So not too coarse and not too fine. Okay. Yes. 90 should be fine. Nice and slow. Okay, so this is where the camera is. I'm sure it's viewable. This is where I see what happens. Going back to Bismillah. And now, of course, we will irate. Nice. Sir. You wanna try?
That's alright. I already have too much power.
You,
The calibration, I don't have to take too much espresso.
you're coffeeed up for the day, huh?
Yeah.
Yalla, I'll see you later. Thank you, sir. Yeah, cheers. See you later. See you. All right. Okay, so we have our coffee, and now we're going to start the actual walk. That must have taken some time for me to make it, so I most probably will actually just fast forward there, and let's see for how long we can go. So as I was saying a little bit earlier, the type of videos I want to do will be neighborhood tours, and the topics will be related to real estate naturally, because this is how I see things through my lens, right? Because I've been in real estate for over 12 years, and sometimes I can see an opportunity And having worked in leasing of properties, property management, having sold lands, individual properties, and also full buildings, I'd like to believe that I do have a unique perspective. And that's the beauty of, I think, just being human. We all have different backgrounds, different experiences, and that gives us our unique perspectives. So this is the block within Meydan Avenue, and this building is managed by one company. The building after that is also managed by one company, and the building after that. But then the building that's on the other side, and we'll have a look at that one of these days, is sold individually as units. Right? Now there's a big difference in rent for one bed in that building, for example, and one bed in this building. This is more expensive. And then the reason for that is because it is more premium, and I think it's very visible even from outside. You have 1, 2, and 3 beds only, and they have one beds going up to 2,000 square feet almost, and starting from 1,000. That can tell you immediately how premium that is. And then you're located right next to this Meydan bridge, and then you have Burj Khalifa there in the background, and this is the Meydan grandstand and the Meydan hotel. Now you'll see as I walk in the neighborhood is that this is not a very crowded neighborhood. It's a calm and peaceful neighborhood. And keep in mind, it is 8:08 in the morning. So a lot of people are leaving for work. And even with that, you can see that there's not a lot of traffic. And as I'll be heading towards this green patch, you see a lot of dog owners coming out with their pets playing here, and it has amazing views, as you can see. You see birds here, birds of different species, even parrots. I've noticed parrots over there next to the bridge in those trees. In order for me to not be exposed to too much noise from the road, I think I'll choose to walk in the grass. And for sure we will also go through some properties in the area and look at some activity. I am not sure how visible that would be with the sun up, and that affects the light. Just take in the views. It's pigeon, that's crow. You see a lot of DHL cars, you see, because the DHL's office and facility is nearby here. Let's talk to ChatGPT to see if it can give us some news about what is happening in the world today. Hey chat, how's it going? I need you to tell me what is happening around the world today. Give me the big news.
Today's headlines. The US has paused a military mission called Project Freedom, which aimed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz while negotiations with Iran and Pakistan continue. Marco Rubio announced that the offensive phase against Iran is over, shifting toward diplomacy. Iran warned the US and UAE about getting stuck in a conflict. A ship caught fire near the UAE's coast, raising maritime safety concerns. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia is expanding its logistics infrastructure as part of Vision 2030.
All right, that seems to be positive news. Alhamdulillah, this is very good. Now let's see what is happening in the real estate world.
This week in Dubai real estate, transactions reached about 15.2 billion dirhams with nearly 3,900 deals. A luxury waterfront apartment sold for about 101.2 million dirhams. In a policy change, there is no longer a minimum property value needed for a 2-year residency visa, making it more accessible to buyers. The high-end market is strong, but there's a risk of a 2-speed market, with ultra-prime doing better than mid-tier.
All right, positive news again. Alhamdulillah, we seem to be doing okay. Now on the ground, how do I feel? I feel that there will be a slowdown naturally because the summer is arriving. We're already entering summer, and summer is normally slower than winter. And I had a feeling from the start of the year that this year will be the year of correction and stabilizing of the sale prices and rent prices, because we've had amazing 6 years since 2020, 5 years, right? 5 going to be 6 years. Amazing 6 years for the real estate market, and they had to somewhere stabilize, and I had a feeling that this would be that year. We saw a correction coming anyway, so I am positive about Dubai, and I do believe in the UAE's vision and in UAE's leadership, because I have spent a long time in this country and I have seen it come back from different crises, right? 2008, I remember very well, even though I was very young at the time. So 2008, I remember. Then we had 2013, 2014 was a slowdown. I was just entering real estate market then. Then 2020 happened, and now this. So you can see a pattern here that every couple years there is a bit of a slowdown, but then there's a stronger comeback. And I do believe that UAE will always put the business community, expat, the investor class first, because the country is very much dependent on it, whether we like it or not. I have seen UAE put people first many times, and this is exactly how they managed to attract people from all over the world, right? If that was not the case, you would not have as many people here. You'd not have as many big investors here. The real estate would not be doing as well as it has been doing, right? And the country would not be as developed, right? Because you need funding, you need wealth to come into the country. Some may disagree with me, but I think the truth is right in front of us, right? It has done really well for itself, and a lot of people have become wealthy, started with nothing in this country and have become really wealthy. So whatever the case, whatever the belief is, I think a lot of people owe a big thank you to the country and its policies. Oh, made a big mistake. Made a big mistake. So that's my 2 cents right there. Now this right here is a residential building that was ready a little bit after the building that I live in, and the owner decided to sell it as a full building. His intention was very clear, and he had decided that he will complete the whole building, and once it is ready he will sell it to an investor who would buy it for rental yields, right? So it is called Flamingo. very beneficial to the investors and also to the agents to keep an eye on the market. It's as easy as me just pulling out the phone and looking for flamingo, and I think that flamingo is not updated as a name here, right? Let me see if we have flamingo as a name on Bayut. But majority of the times when it is one owner and the building is for rent, the management can sometimes get lazy and not really update the name. Okay, so far, oh, I found it here. Okay, so it's called Flamingo Residence. Now on 1st March was the last contract that was renewed there. A 2-bedroom apartment that is 1,472 square feet. That is a decent size, and it was renewed for 120. That's what the market is. There was a 1-bedroom rented for 70,804. Now that is a very good price for this area. There's another one called the Derby here, and you have some apartments here for sale and for rent. Now last time I was here, Derby 2 was not open, and now I see a barber has opened here. There's a beauty salon, and even Derby 3 is open. So on the way back, if the camera is still running, I would like to see what they have available. Okay, going back to Flamingo, you have a lot of the contracts around 70, 73, and to be honest, that's a good rent, right? I have been in this area for over 6 years, and I moved here because I was managing a building and I decided, I'll be close to work. So I moved into the building that I was managing, and prices have gone up by a lot. In some cases more than 60-70%. So the area has done really well, and as you can see, I'm walking around Meydan in an area that is not fully developed. This is where I would normally walk parallel to the hotel which is there, but I took a left turn just to see this building. And also I was trying to avoid being on the road where there are a lot of cars passing, and I thought that would make it difficult for you to hear me. I am indeed excited about how this video is going to turn out, how long the camera is going to run for, who should be watching this video. And I think those who will be watching this video will be watching it when they are about to have dinner, or when they've decided that they'll clean the house or wash the dishes and they'll play it in the background, because it is similar to a podcast. It is not a TikTok video that's going to stimulate you, right, and overstimulate you. And that was my main goal with these videos. I want these videos to be recorded as the raw me, that they can be played for my daughter. She's not going to be overstimulated, and it's almost as if you are out on a walk with me. And I want them to feel like that. I love the natural pace, because social media these days, unfortunately, is too fast, and you see so many videos but you remember nothing. But if you think about, some of the walks that you've had with someone you value, sometimes a friend, a father, or a brother, you, I'm sure, recollect some memories, right, where you learn some of the best lessons. You realize a lot of things, and I want this video to serve exactly as that. Right, we are going on to be, I think, 33 minutes already, and alhamdulillah, so far no signs of the camera overheating, and I am shooting in 4K, 60 frames, 50 frames per second, as was recommended. Now, I do not know much about how cameras run, to be very honest, and what the big difference would be, but I'm learning as I go. It is a process. I've never been the type to want to learn everything about a camera, but I would like to think that I have an eye for good angles and good content, and for different styles of content. I can recognize a good style of content, and the reason why I wanted to do this one was because there was a time I was thinking of doing a full film that will be POV, right, point of view, and then I saw some vlogs on YouTube, but I think everyone tries too hard to follow the trends because they work. I can't blame them, right? Whoever is trying to get the viewers up, right, get the subscribers up, they have to do what is trending. But I did search even last night for some channels that would do POV content only, vlogs mainly, and they would stay true to that. But they always switch between POV, and then they would stick the camera here and walk there. And because I know I'm not an average viewer, right, I also have short content. So knowing the struggle that they have to go through to do that, it does not feel very authentic to me. So this time, okay, so the device did overheat after 30 minutes, which I thought was a long enough time, because it's going to be, see what time it is, 8:30. It's going to be 8:30 already, and it is quite hot. So if I start early, around 6 o'clock, I think I will be able to complete the video. I think I can get 45 minutes out of this. Now, of course, there will be a lot of cuts in between. I do want to keep some silent clips, right? So even if I'm being silent and the view is nice, I would keep that. But I will cut whatever I think is too boring. And maybe I'll change my mind about that. But this is what I'm planning to do for now. So this is my current getup. I have my bag with me, which has the power bank for me to recharge, but that has not been an issue, alhamdulillah. And yeah, then I was actually mounting the camera on my cap here, but when I first walked into the cafe, I was having it on my chest, because there is this magnet that can hold the camera, and it is strong enough. So this is a different view of Meydan Grandstand and the Meydan Hotel. That's Burj Khalifa. Now on a small screen I cannot see the smaller things, and I think you'll not be able to see Burj Khalifa, but I think on a big screen, if you're watching on your laptop, I think you'll be able to see it, but I could be very wrong. Yes sir, we're back on. It overheated again, and I think it may have been because it's recording in 4K and not really because of the weather outside, but the weather could be contributing because it's not cold. And the other thing I realized was, after shooting for about 30 minutes, I lost about 70% of the charge, and it is recharging 80%, and it is recharging. But I believe very strongly in the battery and charging of the DJIs. The quality is good because I've used the microphones and it has been good. It has treated me well. So I have nothing bad to say about DJI, which is exactly why I didn't think too long when I was thinking about getting a camera. I went for DJI immediately because I like a good ecosystem, and just like Apple, I think DJI has an amazing ecosystem. And from what I have read online, DJI does listen to its customers, so it will fix things. For example, I was aware that it had an overheating issue. Any camera would, right? A phone, anything that you record in for too long, I think would have that problem. But what was mentioned online was that DJI fixed the main issue when the product came out. So it was one of the concerns, right? You start shooting and it heats up. And so the fact that they took that comment and fixed the problem, I think says a lot about DJI. And I'm sure there are other companies that do the same, but I've used DJI and I know it to be good. So when I like a product, when I like a brand, I like to stick with it. You know, I've been using iPhone since I think 2016, 2017, and I'm sticking to it because I like how, you know, the ecosystem works. You can have the AirPods and you can have your MacBook and you can airdrop images and videos very easily. So I like that about them. But there are a few things I don't like about Apple, because it does slow down after you've used the phone for some time, and that may be intentional because they want you to get a new phone, but I don't appreciate that, you know. But at the end of the day, it's business for them, right? I still end up buying their products, so they're not losing a customer because of that, and because they can do it, they are doing it. Yes. So how many steps are we? That's about 4,000 steps, and my plan would be to get about 7,000 steps every morning as I'm doing the walk and reading the news or listening to the news, and also looking at some properties and see what's happening. So I'm back to where I started, right? And this is the building I was talking about. This is the most premium on this block, and you can see it from how it's done from outside. This is the newest on the block, and I haven't seen the apartments from inside, but overall what I know is this building is getting the most premium rents. I think I'll end this video here. It has been a good walk, and I'm sure I'll find a lot of things I'd like to fix, and maybe I would think I was talking a little bit too slow and I should have walked slower if I was going to be huffing and puffing, right? Or maybe I'll think, no, you should have walked a little bit faster because it was a little bit too boring to see you on the same streets with nothing changing. But we'll see how it turns out, and that is it for today. I'll see you for another one. Thank you, good sir. The one thing I did miss though is that I did not call my friend. I did not call him to talk about real estate as I had planned to do. But that is fine. I think for the first video it is okay. I need to get to work as well. and maybe I'll do some more POV shots during work time.